Hey guys, so this is just a dev blog of my new project, and my new project that I've decided that I'm going to start working on is virtual reality and leap motion as well. I'm really interested in both actually because VR is just really cool. I've been having a blast. I got mine uh, about 2 days ago, and it's just really really fun and it's really interesting. um and I'm playing a lot of the demos just because while I'm making things I want to know, what are some good things, what are some bad things. With leap motion games I'm a little bit more restricted, but at least with VR games, I have a lot to go off because there's actually like a million free demo games, especially like the Aperture Science demo. Uh, that's really really good. It sort of gave me a really good idea about how I'm going to go about actually like attaching meshes to controllers, and how to just get the feel of it right, because that's a lot of what VR is. Um, it's kind of very simplistic in sort of controls. Like you just press a button, and that's kind of the extent of it. Unless you want to do some really cool stuff that involve moving the controllers as well, and drawing and things like that. But like I reckon the hardest part about VR is actually like getting the atmosphere right. Um, but I'm just going to be, during this process, just going to be focusing on the control side of it. So I made a game mode. I did nothing else in game mode except change it from the default pawn to player. Um, and that was it. That was my game mode done, which was that was pretty good. It's the easiest part. It took 2 minutes. Um, yeah, just made this test map. Didn't even make it really. It just appeared here. One thing I did notice was that if you have your player capsule like up here, right? Um, and then you're like, oh man, yeah. So now I'm gonna start going in VR. So what this actually is, right, is your VR headset will start there, and then you're gonna end up like when you put on your headset up here, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa, I'm way off the ground." So right now, uh, I'm just throwing the capsule down into there. I think that's might be the best and only way to fix it up. Um, and this actually like it starts my headset on the ground, roughly about 30 centimeters. You need it to get. Um, Yeah, that was roughly like me on the ground and my controllers on the ground, which is what I wanted as well. So, moving on, player. So right now, player has only a couple of things on it. So with my player right now, I have the default scene root. I'm just gonna keep that. Usually I replace it with whatever's the main thing is, like the camera or whatever, but I don't really have the need for it. Camera, just normal camera. I've had some people change the field of view, and things like that in some videos I've seen, but I haven't really noticed the need for it. Like I'm not getting sick, or I'm not getting like a little bit of motionless, and um, when I walk around, I feel actually completely fine. So I'm just gonna keep it up there. Um, so I have two leap motion, not leap motion. I have two motion controllers. So with uh, with Steam VR, um, and Unreal working together. So if you just type in motion control, you'll get motion control. Another thing that you're gonna need is Steam VR Chaperone. So if anyone has a HTC Vive, um, that little blue checkered box thing that appears when you get to the edge of areas, that is that's Steam Chaperone. That's the game protecting, well, the system protecting you from stepping outside your bounds. Which I thought was really cool because I thought from some talks I've had with other people that you have to set it up yourself, but Unreal has just seemed to just throw in a component in there, and it's like yes. So with the motion controllers, just some specific things you have to do. You just have to make the correct hand the correct hand. I just made a left one and a right one. That's the left hand, that's the right hand. One of the things I ran into is that I had these both set to left and I couldn't even see one controller in the level. So that's something that some people might want to look out for. With these, I just got some cones from the starter content, and then I just rotated them 9 degrees in the other direction. And that's just what my motion controllers are right now. It's just these pointy cones that you can see. And then we have the Steam Chaperone. Haven't done anything, and the Leap motion controller. So I'll talk about the Leap motion controller right now, actually, because there's nothing else VR related. Everything else kind of just falls into place. Once you set up if you open the Steam VR app, you have to open the Steam VR app as well and actually get the sensors, talking to each other and everything before you can actually play this game in VR. So you have to set up your play space and everything beforehand. You can't actually just cheat and sit at your desk all day. So with Leap Motion is really cool. So one of the things that you're going to have to do first is the plugins. So down in the plugins in input devices, Leap Motion is already a plugin there. You just have to turn that on, restart your thing, and yeah, it's done. After that, I was following online how to actually throw this into how to throw it into my game, because I'm starting with not even starter content in this one. So basically, aside from that code that I imported from another game from the starter content, like you can just migrate all the stuff from the starter content that you need, or cubes that you need, in order to actually make things. Because I'm not an artist, I don't make cubes. I just put them in levels. You have to have that plugin and shit there. So with the Leap Motion controller, I didn't have to do anything. With the class settings and interfaces, you have to add the Leap event interface. So just come down there, type Leap, and it will show all. Where is it? I think it's gone because it's there now. I think it goes away because it's there. Yeah, but you type in like Leap and it shows all the Leap interfaces that it uses. So you'll need the event Leap interface in order to actually see your hands. Alright, and then in the event graph, I've done a couple of stuff here. So in the event begin play, right now I have it set to as we call this function first, and this function just tells the Leap Motion controllers whether it is, is it on a table or is it on your headset. I took this when it's false to mean that it's on my table, but yeah, you have to set that to true. That's kind of the only thing you have to do there. With this though, this is how you actually track the positions of your hands. And then I've just made a function to draw spheres to represent my hands, and all the little bits. So you just gotta, with event finger moved and event hand moved, you actually grab the. This was surprising to me because you actually grab the actual parts of your hand, because I didn't really like know how Leap Motion kind of set it up. I didn't actually think it told the difference between your hand and like registered it, which is interesting to me because that means I can use that in terms of controllers, so I can like make it so when I touch the palm of my hand, not if it reaches the area near my hand, kind of things like that. Yeah, so you grab that and you grab its positions and things, and then I made a function called draw debug sphere at actor, because I didn't want to actually have to throw this a million times for draw debug sphere. So with this, you just bring in the location of the fingertip or the metacarpals or whatever, and you get the controller rotation, and you rotate that vector. So that makes it so that when you rotate your headset and things, your hands are going to they're going to be rotating correctly. And when you rotate, you look left, they're going to be doing things. They're going to be doing the correct things. With this, get active location, you're just plussing it to the location. So that means that if you're walking around your VR space and you have your hands in front of you like a surgeon, your hands are going to be walking with you. You're not going to be walking off without your hands. So yeah, that is it right now. That's about as much work as I put into it, but I'm only going to be, because I'm strapped for time, I'm going to be working on this maybe like at minimum a half hour per day. Which is still like a decent amount of time, because at least when I go to uni to work on the actual game that we're making, the 9 hours that I spent there, it does really add up and actually does a lot of things. I get a lot of things done. So like half hour, like when I was thinking about how much time I was going to spend at first, I was like, well, I need to spend a minimum an hour, don't I? But a half hour is pretty sufficient. Especially like, that's just a minimum. I'm not gonna be like, half hour's done. I'm done. So that is it. Stick around for some more dev blogs. I'm going to be releasing them whenever I do something meaningful, and I guess today's meaningful activity was actually getting a character in VR space. So see ya.